Recently, we've seen major cracks in the illusion that we can get anything that we want at any time. There have been major disruptions in national and global supply chains, resulting in empty store shelves and accelerated inflation. So now that the fragility of such systems should be very clear to us, we need to start sourcing more things locally. We can do this for big things, for small things, for necessities, and for luxuries. It's just important that we start building resilient communities in whatever way we can. So today, I'm going to show you how to source a small but important thing from nature, specifically from trees, and that's vitamin C. We can get vitamin C from food like citrus, strawberries, bell peppers, and cruciferous vegetables, as well as from supplements. But the incredible thing is that we can also get vitamin C from certain trees. Trees that might even be in your yard. Some needles of evergreen trees, like this white pine behind me, are great wild sources of vitamin C. In fact, these needles can have 3 to 5 times the vitamin C content of orange juice, just depending on the species. I have so many spruces, firs, arborvitae, pine planted as landscape trees in my neighborhood, so I can rest assured that I will never get scurvy. To get vitamin C from these trees, you harvest the needles to make a tea with them. To best extract the nutrients in the needles, you can cut into them or bruise the needles with a knife. Next, pour boiling water over the needles, cover and let it steep for 10 to 15 minutes, and then strain out the needles. And that's all it takes to make an evergreen tea that's rich with vitamin C. You can make this vitamin C needle tea from many common coniferous trees. This includes the pines, spruces, firs, Douglas fir, junipers, and arborvitae. Some specific species that I'd make this tea from would be black pine, white pine, Colorado blue spruce, Norway spruce, white spruce. There's so many. Arborvitae, eastern red cedar, balsam fir, white fir. I'll stop there. There are more as well, but these are just some trees that I'm familiar with and that grow in my area. It's extremely important, though, I want to stress, to correctly identify the tree before you harvest the needles, because there are toxic evergreens. The most common toxic evergreen that I know of are the yews. So this is Japanese yew. It's a very common landscape shrub where I live, but it can also be a quite large, usually shrubby multi-stem tree. And Japanese yew has flat needles. Firs and Douglas fir also have flat needles. So that's why we need to be really careful, because you can make a tea from firs and Douglas fir. But if you made a tea from the yews, that'd be very toxic. You can differentiate yews by their two-toned needle. So the underside is a lot lighter than the upper side. Yews also have red berry-looking arils, which are a fleshy seed covering. And yews are dioecious, meaning that each individual plant either has male reproductive parts or female reproductive parts, and only the female yews have these red arils. If you see cones like this, with 2 different kinds of bracts, that's a Douglas fir, not a yew. You're also going to want to avoid false pines. These are trees with the word pine in their common name, but they're not actually in the pine or the Pinus genus. For example, Australian pine is found in parts of Florida and California, and Norfolk Island pine, it's a tropical plant, but it can be kept as a house plant. They have the name pine, they're called pines, but they're not actually in the pine genus. Ponderosa pine, on the other hand, is a true pine in the Pinus genus, but I've seen a few warnings not to consume it, especially if you're pregnant. I live in the Midwest. They're not around here, but ponderosa pines are very common trees in the western US, so I thought I'd mention that. So now you know which trees are rich sources of vitamin C and how to make a tea from their needles. So I just want to emphasize why you should even care about having an emergency or a dependable source of vitamin C. For one, vitamin C is necessary to our health, but as humans, we can't produce it on our own. We have to get it from our diet. And vitamin C is water soluble, so it's not stored in our body, and we really should be consuming it every single day because of that. If you have a severe vitamin C deficiency, you'll get scurvy. The recommended dietary allowance for vitamin C is 75 milligrams per day for women and 90 milligrams for men. However, this recommendation is based on the minimum amount of vitamin C you need to avoid symptoms of scurvy. So that's a pretty low bar. For optimum health, we really should be getting a lot more than that. Two-time Nobel Prize winner Linus favored much higher doses of vitamin C. And he did research on so-called megadoses of vitamin C as a treatment for heart disease and cancer. And studies have confirmed its vitamin C's benefit in reducing heart disease and stroke. And there are really promising studies for its benefit to cancer too. Vitamin C is necessary for the production of collagen, which has many important roles in our body, such as wound repair and maintaining the integrity of blood vessel walls. Vitamin C is also an antioxidant, and vitamin C boosts the immune system. And many of us take vitamin C to recover faster from, the common cold or other common illnesses. So therefore, getting vitamin C, absolutely critical for our health, and we should be taking it or consuming it in our diet every single day. Maybe there's a future where we can't get fresh fruits or fresh vegetables and supplements are hard to come by. I sincerely hope not, but if either of us comes to see that as a reality, we'll know that we have a dependable source of vitamin C in the pines and the spruces in our neighborhood. At the least, this is a small step to building resiliency and learning the local plants where you live, especially the ones that you can make tea from or make meals with, personally brings me so much joy and connection to where I live. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.